a little loud here. I am in the middle of doing some cuts on my Glowforge on my laser cutter, so it's almost done. Good morning. Happy Wednesday. Halfway through the week. Ouch. Morning, everybody. Good morning from Virginia. Where's everyone coming in from today? I am in Pennsylvania, just about an hour, a little under an hour southwest of Pittsburgh. So I'm not far from the city. Sometimes I go into the city. I'm not a big fan. Oh, sorry. I got shaking down here. Not a big fan of going. I'm not a city girl. I am a city girl to a sense. I don't like going into the city, but I like all of the benefits of the city. Let me see if I can kill some of this lighting here. How's that? That's much better. So, I don't go into Pittsburgh a lot. By a lot, I mean, I'm not there like, I probably go into the city maybe once or twice a month. Good morning, Texas, and oh, we got 2 Texas. And we had a Georgia, Virginia. Oh. Okay. All right, let me shut down my fan on my Glowforge. It's loud. The laser cutter fan is very loud. And I even got the extra fan so it would cut down on the loudness. Alabama, Iowa. Oh, we got everybody here. Okay, so it's really cold here today in Pennsylvania. Like just lower 30s. You're an hour and a half from Pittsburgh. Wow. You're not far from me unless you're heading north, which we have an office up north. We have we're in the insurance, my husband, in the insurance business, and insurance such as like health insurance. And we have an office up near Wellsboro, PA. So we're up near the New York line as well, New York state line. California, oh girl, I feel so bad for you out in California there with your shutdown. However, though, Pennsylvania's talking, I guess, in the background about maybe having another shutdown. This is horrible. I don't know how people are going to survive. I really don't. But that's a whole nother subject that I will not get on because we're all tired of hearing about it. So let's take this next hour and escape reality. Oh, we got Canada. Courtney, I feel so bad for you, girl. Oh, we got quite a few here on Texas. Okay, so this is a last minute. I got it together this morning. And when I mean this morning, I was about 2 or 3 minutes late getting on here because I literally was that's why my laser cutter was running. I am literally just cutting these. It was just something I came up with at the last minute. I was not prepared for today. I was dealing with some things again this morning with the Google Drive. It wasn't as bad as the last couple days, thank goodness. But some things there with that. So before we even get started, let's go over some of the things. These were, every day I had my inbox since I've launched the Google Drive, my monthly Google Drive, about it. So it's easier just to talk about it here than to go ahead and deal with all of these messages. The The Google Drive is now a monthly Google Drive. There was a lifetime Google Drive that was sold at the beginning of this year. It was a Valentine's special, okay? I sold that. That was limited, and then I have no longer sold that and offered that again, and I will not offer that again. With that has come a learning curve and a lot of issues on my end as a designer. So that will no longer be out there to be offered. And I did limit it. When I limited the sale, I just wanted to see how it would go at that time. And I'm really glad that I did and didn't do a lot of them. I did less than 200. I've had a lot of issues. It's been a learning process for me. What I thought was a good thing has not necessarily turned into a good thing. I had, with Google Drives comes a lot of people stealing those images. What they do is they will get a group of people, or will get one person. They will go ahead and buy that Google Drive, and then they will take it and they will dump it into Facebook groups, dump sites as they call them. And that's what happened with that. So in that learning process of trying to chase down these groups, and they are hard to shut down. However, though, they have been getting shut down, which is a great progress for us designers. So, you know, I just don't understand the concept of that, but I've never been a thief. So they feel that they have the right to, once they buy that, that's theirs. I said yesterday in my, back and forth with these people, some of the people, and they've even gotten to the point where they said, even if they buy images such as like Disney or a painting or, Grinch, Dr. Seuss items, that once they buy it, they are now they are the owner of it, and they can do whatever they want with it. Well, they're clueless. That's totally incorrect. But anyways, that being said, I no longer offer the lifetime Google Drive. I still have it current I've removed so many people that I have seen that were misusing it. But I do still have some faithful of you on there that are using it correctly, and I really appreciate you guys. And it's so sad that some of the, the bad apples ruin the good apples, and that's sad. But as of right now, it's still going strong. I'm still leaving that go. So you're safe as of right now. And I hate to do that, but, it's horrible. So I came up with a monthly Google Drive, and that's what I'm currently offering. And the way the monthly Google Drive is working is, it is a monthly subscription. Okay, a lot of you, I'm trying to save you some money. It is basically almost like a coupon for you, a way to save money. By subscribing monthly, the 8th of every month, you will be billed. And for that month, everything that I create in that month goes into that Google Drive, that monthly Google Drive for the subscription. It is $20, USA dollars. It goes into that subscription, into that month, and it will be there until the next cycle begins. So at the 7th of every night at 11:59 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, that drive goes away to begin a new one at midnight. Okay, so if you buy a lot of the images, if you want to get into the subscription, today is the last day that I'm offering this for this month. And then, you can get into the subscription. You can cancel it at any time. That's on you to have to do that, okay? You can't contact me and do that, because this is like any other subscription. If you want to unsubscribe to it, you have to do that. I can't be responsible for that, okay? But it'll automatically roll in every month. On the 8th, we'll begin a new month. And with that being said, the way that works is, everything from the previous month, such as we just moved into December, yesterday was my first day. Everything that was in there for November is, it was gone. It was gone on the night before, which was the 7th, and I had pre-warned everybody. This is in the Google Drive. I even have a copy of it in there. When you subscribe, please read that. It lets you know how that works. All right. it is your responsibility to download those images, them files that are in there, and keep them. I am not going to chase them for you if you forget to do that. If your computer crashes, unfortunately, I'm not going to resend those to you. As with any other important document or important file, it is your responsibility, okay? I have enough on my plate right now, and I'm not trying to be rude. I have enough on my plate that I can't be chasing designs and files for anybody, okay? There's enough services out there. I just had a major computer crash on my last computer, and I lost a lot of files. I didn't lose them in the sense of I lost the files themselves, because I still have those because I saved those. I just lost access to being able to go into my design programs and pull them apart and redo them like whenever I had originally put them together. That part I did lose. Unfortunately, I did not back that up. That was my mistake, and I'm the one that pays the consequences for that, okay? But I did back up all of my design files, such as like the files that I send you guys. And to be honest with you, there's a lot of places out there. Right now I'm offering this as a Google Drive. So meaning you can go ahead and set up your own Google Drive and transfer that Google Drive and those downloaded files into an online service. So you can access them whenever you want. You can keep them safe. And you can also buy, like I have here, I don't have it hooked up. You can get external hard drives, which at this time of year, I just got a 2 terabyte, and it was less than $50 at Best Buy. So that was a really good deal, because they're usually like $100, $150 dollars each. I just got one it was on sale, and I got it, I think it was $55 or 60 bucks. So there's lots of avenues now for you to go ahead. There's clouds, there's Dropbox, that's my favorite. I use Dropbox and Google, and I do back up now 2 times all of my stuff, and I learned from my mistake as well. I had only some of my files that were like in the form of my designer files, not the PNG files, my designer files. I learned from my mistake. That I have to go ahead and make sure I throw those in, because I guess I was not, which shame on me. Okay, so with that being said, please, please, please back up your design files, and not just mine, everybody's. Whatever you get, whatever you purchase, put them in a cloud, put them in a Google Drive. Google Drive is free up until a certain point. Then you can pay monthly to expand your drive. I do that, and I pay monthly with Dropbox. But now I have access and I have backups. So with that being said, I'm not going to chase files for you. So please, when they come in and you see them as I'm getting them in there, you could check every day, check every other day. Please, please, please back up your files, because I will not resend them to you, okay? And I'm not being mean. I already have a lot on my plate, and this is something that's your responsibility, okay? So if you bought the lifetime drive, are all the new designs still going in the drive? As of right now, yes. So once you pay for the month, you can download them. Brianna asked, once you pay for the month, can you download them and print them off whenever you need? Absolutely. Absolutely. It is just like you making a purchase in Etsy or anywhere else for a file, an online shop. Once you got that and you downloaded it, it is now in your computer. You have access to it. Just save it. Save it as you would, and make sure that you keep that. Okay? So download it, put it in a Google Drive, put it in Dropbox, put it on a backup, an external hard drive, put it on a flash stick. Just make sure you have it. Don't just keep it to your computer, because if your computer crashes or something happens, it's gone, okay? Yes. And with my design files, as with almost every artist, designer, you can use them for finished products. So for personal use and for sale. We make these files so that you guys can go ahead, if you want to profit from them, by putting them on a t-shirt, by putting them on tote bags, whatever. You can make flags, you can make finished products from them. You just cannot resell the designs, okay? You can't go and resell transfers and things like that, only because I offer that service. I am thinking about coming up with a commercial license where you can go ahead and get the commercial license and print as many transfers as you want, make screen prints from them, whatever. That is something that I'm considering doing as well, okay? But you can make as many finished products as you want from this. I don't even, you know, I'm not a big stickler on that. So as long as it's a finished product, but you can't take and give away the designs. You can't dump the designs in dump sites for everybody to get it for free. And you can't go ahead and resell the design, okay? But you can make as many finished products as you want from it. Okay, so enough said. I'm sorry, but my message box was downloaded again with these messages. And I had a few people saying, oh, they didn't grab all of November's, you know, their computer crashed, they didn't grab them, they didn't download them, they just thought they could access the drive. And let me tell you, never take that chance with any drive anyways, because at any given moment, the author of that drive, the owner of that drive, such as myself, I wouldn't, but you know, they could just simply just pull that down and then that's it. You don't have it no more. So don't ever take that drive with anybody, don't ever take that chance with anybody's drive, okay? Always download those and keep them. Okay, enough said. So, last minute, I was creating something to come up with. So, I've had this before. We've done the rounds, and I know some of you still have these rounds. So I thought, let's do something, let's do something a little bit, you know, I'm not the one who's less is more, I'm the one that's more is more kind of girl. So let's go ahead and do a little bit more with this today. Okay, so if some of you, this is the 10-inch round. I do offer them in the 8-inch and a 6-inch, and they are in my Etsy shop. You can go ahead and order them if you need them. If you need any more of the rounds in a smaller size. I will tell you, these rounds, when they get to be 6 inches, I have a 6-inch one. When they get to be 6 inches, these are adorable for in the middle of wreaths, okay? So if you want to put like this right in the center of a wreath with something, or just even on the side, these are really cute. So they're perfect. I have a friend who does them, and she puts them in the middle of her wreath, and then she changes it out. Okay, so here's the 10-inch. I don't have a finished product, so we're going to work this along as we go. All right, okay. So this one's dirty. And someone had mentioned that some of these, you know, when they get their ornaments and they get their cuts and stuff like that, they're dirty. Unfortunately, they are. I clean the fronts of them. I don't have time to go around and clean every single one of them. And I know most people don't when they laser cut and send them to you. And the reason that they're dirty is you're getting soot. Okay, because a laser is literally cutting with a laser beam or a kind of like a fire. So this is soot that becomes on the outside, so they do get a little dirty. As you can see, I deal with it all the time. At the end of the day, my face is filthy, my hands are filthy, my arms are filthy, my shirt is filthy. That's why I usually have about the same 5 shirts that I wear, because they are my work shirts. And then, you know, all you can do is I just keep baby wipes, and then I will go around and wipe them when I'm getting ready to use them. And that's all I do. And that simply cleans it off. And when I say they're dirty, they are dirty. But it's soot, and there's nothing we can do about that. And I'm sorry if that's something that you hate, but I hate it too. Okay, So there is a film on these you're going to need to peel off. So if some of you still have these door hangers around, these rounds, and you don't know what to do with them, we are going to work them a little bit. Okay, so when you get them, they kind of look, you know, they look like this. They're dirty, yucky, and then, you know, once you take them off, they are nice and shiny and bright and clean. Okay? So when you get them, if you want to go ahead and wipe them off the baby wipe, that's what I do. All right. And then we are going to take today's, I put this one in yesterday. This is the little gnome, and he's riding in the cute red truck. Okay, and that red truck is my design. I did draw the red truck. Okay, so he is going to, that truck is going to be an exclusive design I'm going to be using. You're going to see it throughout the year. I'm going to be using it. All right, I love the red truck series, and so I'm going to be using it. All right, I'm trying to keep up with your comments today. All right, I am on my big press today. And the only reason I'm on this is simply because I'm doing flags today. I have a large order for flags. So I already had it heated up. I'm just going to go ahead and use it. All right, so here's the design I printed out. And a lot of people ask, when you don't have a background, so say this one was just this image right here, okay, minus the circle. That circle is not part of this image, all right? And people ask often, they can't seem to get centered on a lot of the things they do that doesn't necessarily have a background to it. So what I do is, in my design program, I just took a 10-inch, because my board is 10 inches, all right? I took a 10-inch circle and I just created the outline of it. And then what I did was I centered my picture, my design, in the middle of that. So that way I was able to see how my design is going to show up. Okay, and that gave me a centering point. All right, so that's what I did with that. So if that's a little trick that could help you, that's how I do it, whether it be a square, a triangle, whatever it is that you need. Even if it's a funny object, like I've even done it with like stars and things like that. I've went and just took like a box around the points, and then I was able to like kind of get a middle section to that, a centering point. So film off easier. Put your boards under the, oh yeah, it'll help wrinkle that. You're correct. Don't have to close it. Just, yes. Good. Thank you, Donna. Donna's saying in order to get the film off, you can go ahead and just like put it under your press a little bit because it crinkles it a little and then it's easier to pull off, which it is. I just used my nail though. But anyways, so this is how I kind of do, for any of you that are new or struggling with how do you get your picture centered onto a project that you don't necessarily have a border or an outline for. That's what I do, okay? Get yourself a circle, a 10-inch circle for this, put that in there, and then that'll help you. All right, and make sure when you're doing these boards, these are mirror imaged. And I do a light, light pre-press on these because sometimes these boards hold a little bit of moisture to them, so they get that hazing to them. So we're going to try to get rid of the hazing here. I'm going to have to watch the time because I have this set separate. I'm going to have to take it down. I always forget. I change this time and then I forget. I was doing rugs yesterday, doormats. And then I'll forget. Then I burn my items, which I did yesterday. All right, let me adjust this. just gonna, we're gonna do these for 400 degrees for 60 seconds. Sorry, had a phone call coming through. No matter what, it always comes through. What size? This press, now this, I'm using my large press only because I had it heated up because I'm doing flags today. This is my 16 by 24 press. And these are what I press my big flags with because it's easy, it's one press. But these can all be done on, if you have a 15 by 15 press, which is the normal size, that most people, most common size, you can do it on that. Okay? And that's what makes these boards nice because you can do it on that. You can do it on a smaller press. But yeah, we're gonna kind of like make this like bigger, okay? These door hangers are gonna get bigger here. All right, so I pre-press this for about 30 seconds. And then all I'm going to do is, I'm gonna put this board down and center it. And tape it down. Sorry, I'm a little off camera here, but let me see if I can fix you all here. Okay, is that better? There we are. Okay, so all I did was I took that design and I just taped it down. And as you can see, the edging was a little bit bigger than my design, which I usually do. If whatever I might to get a full bleed, or meaning the full, I'm going to cover my full surface, which this one wasn't necessary because the image did not have a border, like a background to it, just a small background. But always make your design a little bit bigger so that you can completely cover your board. So I usually do it, if my design's like 10 inches round, I'll do like 10.1 or 10.2 when sizing. You're still not able to open your monthly subscription. I don't know, Annette. I'll go ahead. I'll message you after this. I've approved you like 2 or 3 times now, so I don't know what maybe you have in your settings. I just had another approval for you this morning and I approved you to see it, so I don't know. I don't know, maybe something in your settings? Okay, I'll message you afterwards. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go ahead and place this paper side up, transfer side up. And then we are gonna do these. I don't think I have this. And I do these at like a heavy pressure. We'll see if that works. Okay. Oh, thanks, Carol. Okay, yeah, this heat press here, it is the 16 by 24. I love it. It's awesome for doing the big flags, which this is the new flags that I have now in my shop. I love these. These are double-sided with a black outliner in the middle. They are very fluid. And look at the print on them. I mean, these, so far, these have been my favorite flag to date. These are awesome. So they are now in my shop and they fit on the larger press without having to do a double press to them, pressing half and half. These fit in here because they are 12 by 18. And I'm going to leave this in here just a little bit longer because they must have been cold because my temperature dropped down to like 380. So usually make sure you always heat your preheat your press. So these must have been cold. Okay. Hopefully it turned out. And let me get gloves because these are hot when they come off. These ones are definitely hot when they come off the press. These are single-sided. These are the rounds that I did a buy-in for not long ago. And they're now in my shop if you're looking for them. And they take color sublimation so nicely. Look how nice and glossy they are. They're so, and look how cute that design is on it. Okay, so these turn out super nice. And I do have them in my shop. They are cut to order. That's the way I'm doing them now. So, but my Glowforge, my laser cutter, it runs all day long from the time I get here. For the boards, does it work to piece the design together and then press it if you only have the smaller printer? Well, I could tell you the way that you can do that is you can definitely piece your design. There's a lot of YouTube videos on how to do that if you have a smaller printer, how to piece your design. So basically you're going to piece your design and then you're going to tape your design together. And then it's going to become one print. All right. And I would suggest that you just go to YouTube and Google that on how to do that. It works. I have done it for a lot of larger prints on my doormats, and it turns out perfect. So yes, you could piece a design and do them on the rounds if you only have a smaller printer. Okay, but let me see. Let me get a size. I don't think you would really need a big one for this. Okay, considering that this does not have a full background to it, I don't think that that would be a concern, because as you see, that's how large the print would be, and you could print from like edge to edge and make that work inside your 10-inch round. For this one especially, because it's using the white background, so it's not like the background is like wooden or anything like that. It's literally using the white because I had used just a coloring on my pencil and just made like a scribbled background to this to make it look like it was painted. So that would work for a smaller printer on these. Okay. Okay. So, but he turned out cute. I'm loving the gnomes. I don't see them going away, kind of like the red truck. I kind of don't see the gnomes or the red truck going away for a while yet. Okay, so now that we have this done, I thought, why not add a topper to it? Okay, so this is what I was cutting this morning because I had to hurry up and draw it out and then get it cut. So this was literally like a half-hour project this morning, figuring out what size box I wanted for it, what size header. This again, this is also going to be the back. It's just one-sided, all right? And it also has a film. And I'm going to offer these headers in my shop if you're interested in it. But I thought for those of you that does not have that doesn't have a larger press to be able to do a full flag, you could definitely do these. And if you have the smaller printer, you could definitely just do a piece together print for these, okay? But you could press them then on like a 15 by 15 press. Yeah, let me make sure. Yeah, because these are only, so these will fit, the rounds and the header will fit underneath a 15 by 15. These are just a little over 12 inches and a little over almost 5.5 inches tall. Okay, so these absolutely, this will also fit under a 15 by 15 press. All right. So all I did was I just did a welcome, and I'm going to put this. And I know this looks like it's correct to you, but it is mirror image. So if you're new, make sure there's very few things that you don't have to mirror. when it comes to sublimation, 90% of the stuff that we do is mirrored. So this is mirrored. And I'm just going to line this up and tape it down. I probably should have pre-pressed this. Well, we're going to wing it. I did not pre-press this one. So we might just leave it on the press just a tad bit longer as well. Okay, and then again, I printed that out just a little bit bigger. Now this one matters that it's printed bigger, and there's a little bit excess outside of your actual substrate, because I want to cover every inch of this from edge to edge and beyond. So I need this to be bigger, okay? Are these designs on your monthly? This one is not. I just threw this one together this morning, but yes, the truck is. And always use a new sheet of paper, all right? So I'm just flipping this one over. But always make sure you use a new sheet of butcher paper. I am definitely using a new sheet on this. I see a little bit of the design came through. Do not be, this is not one of the things where you are going to use again. Butcher paper is a one-time use, please. Save yourself the headache and the trouble of getting ghosting images of your previous project on that, okay? And we are doing 400 degrees, 60 seconds. I'm gonna probably give this one about 65, 70 seconds. So yes, these designs are on. This one is, and I'll probably throw that one in later on this afternoon. I just literally finished it right before. That's why I was running like 2 or 3 minutes late. I was literally just finishing it up. This is already in there. This is on the monthly already. And then all I did was I did put the, in this design, I put the wreath on the flag design. I have the red gnome. He is holding the wreath. This one I stuck on the back, so you can go ahead and personalize it. People love to have personalized things, and this is one of them. So go ahead and personalize the back of that. People love to see their name. It starts as childhood. All right, my hands are dirty. All right, almost done. So these are, these make really nice door hangers and wall hangers. I don't necessarily say that you would have to just put it on a door, because these, and if you do, because these are MDF, you need to make sure that you stress to your customers that these should be on a covered porch, because these are wood and you don't want them really weathered. Let me get my gloves on, these are hot. Am I still offering the rounds? They are in my shop, yes. They are a staple item now, so they will be there to stay. Okay. Let me get the tape off. These boards sub beautifully. Okay, I got tape all over me here. Look how nice these boards sub. I mean, even the glossy, the shininess to them. These are so, so beautiful. I am so impressed with this sublimation board that I cut. I love it. Okay, so now we are just going to put this together. All right, so simple, easy. I am going to throw this design into my monthly drive. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and just give you the wooden by itself, and then I'll go ahead and do one that says the welcome in it. So that way, if you subscribe to the Google Drive, and today is the last day to get in, so if you want in, you either got to message me or there is a post for it. But messaging me is a little bit quicker, a little bit easier. You can just message me and I'll just go ahead, send you the invoice, and then I'll put you right in Google Drive once it's paid. All right. But I'll go ahead and put this in as a blank wooden one, and then I'll go ahead and put it in as the welcome with the welcome name on it. That way, if you don't want to use the welcome and you want to personalize it with something, you can. Okay. And I'm also going to put those boards, the topper, the header here, I'm going to put this in my shop that you can go ahead and order them if you already have the rounds. If you don't, the rounds are already in there. This is the 10-inch one I'm using. These are already in there. They are going to be a staple item that will stay in my shop. And I just cut to order those. So my laser, like I said, my laser runs all day long. From the time I get in, it's the very first machine I turn on because it's ready to go. I'm gonna clean it as soon as we're done here. It needs some cleaning, and then it's gonna go back to work. All right. And these are nice because now once you have this, you can change your rounds out, and I'm gonna show you how we're gonna do this. All right, I didn't have any chain. You can buy the small little connector chain, which is adorable on this. And then all it has is a little hook, and then you can change that out. I didn't have that available. I had some hooks, but I didn't have the chain that I needed. And I know that I've used that before. You can get that right at your Lowe's. You can get it right at Home Depot or any of your hardware stores. You can get small little link chain, and when I'm saying small, it's going to be small. It's almost like a jewelry chain, and but bigger than jewelry. And then you can just hang it there, and then you can buy the little hooks as well, and they're just little S hooks, and they can hang in there, and you could just change that out really easily. But I had cording, so that's what I'm going to use today. All right, we had to improvise because I was not prepared for this, but I am going to go to over to the store today, to the hardware store, because I think I'm going to put this one in my house. I would like to put it on my back door, actually. Okay, so I had this. Twine would work, anything like that. These would make cute Christmas gifts as well, especially if you wanted to give the header and like 4 different rounds, maybe seasonal, as a gift. Then you can go ahead, somebody could go ahead and change those out with the seasons. All right. No, I won't include the hardware because I'm going to let that up to you to choose, because there's gold. I know when I go to, and I've bought that before, so I know that they have it. They had it in gold, they had it in silver, they had it in a black, and I wanted to say they even had it like in a bronze. So I'll let that up to you, and you can just walk right into Home Depot and them. They're usually on the spools where you go and get chain and stuff from. That's where they usually have it in the little hooks. And if not, Amazon has it as well, and you could just order it from there. And I'll try to find that link on Amazon, and then I'll post it so that if you want to get Amazon to deliver, if you have Prime. I know they're running a little behind. I've ordered a few things, and my Prime's not coming. It's not 2-day anymore. It's like 4 or 5. So you might be cutting it close there. You might want to check your hardware store. Okay. I'm going to give you a little tip on the quick and easy way that I am able to figure out my sizing when it comes to things such as hanging your items so that they're not one side's too long, one side's too short. Okay, so what I do is I always take my twine or my cording and I run it in through the back, and then on the front I'll take and make my knot. Okay, I'll just take and just make a knot. All right, pull it through. Now we're going to cut some of that off, and then I do the little measure, give it a little extra, cut it away. All right, and then I'm going to again go through the back to the front, make my little knot. And this is where you can usually adjust your knot, because you're like, oh, I cut too much off. It's better to cut too much than not enough. But this is about what I want to hang. Now I know, I mark that, and then I just go ahead and I tie my knot. Okay, now there's a lot of excess, but that doesn't matter because guess what? We're going to cut it off. All right. Okay, so there we go. I got that part done, okay? So now here's the 2 holes that are gonna be able to hang that round that we need in here, okay? And the way we're gonna do that is just basically the same way. We are going to bring this up. All right, let me get this through here. All right, so I'm gonna do the first one here, all right? I'm gonna get a little knot there started. Oop, well, there goes my roll. Okay, so I got my knot started. And then I'm going to cut a long piece. So I'm gonna figure this much. It doesn't matter how much excess I have, all right? Because it doesn't matter, it's pointless, okay? And what I'm gonna do is, let me think. Sometimes I get myself backwards here. All right, this would go this way. All right, I have to think about this. I got myself all backwards because I'm working backwards. All right, we're gonna bring it through. There we go. Okay, so we're gonna bring it through the front side. All right, so we brought it through the front here. All right, tied our knot. Now we are gonna come up through the front this way. All right, let me see, I don't have enough hands, okay? So we're gonna bring it this way, up through the front then of this. Then we are gonna go across the back. Does that work? Okay. So we are now going across the back. All right, everybody following? And then we are gonna come out through the front again with a knot. All right. Sorry, I don't have enough hands for this. All right, so that's, see how that is? It's not gonna matter. We have them across the back, but nobody sees that. And that way we're making sure that this ends up. Let me pull this. And then I'm gonna cut some of this excess off. All right. All right, and then all I'm gonna do is, I am gonna pull this to adjust this to figure out approximately how far down I want it to hang. And then I'm gonna make a knot. Okay. And I'm gonna tie that. I'm gonna clip that off. All right. So now I've got 2 knots in the front. They both came in from the back. All right. And in order for it to not be wonky and to be like hanging weird, it makes it so that you can adjust that and it's both correct. So it's even, okay? And that's the easiest way I found to do that, whether it be with this cording I have, whether it be with twine. That makes it the easiest, unless you get a chain, because chain's easy because you can count the links and then you just hook them on. Other than that, that's how I usually get my my spacing to work, so that one side's not hanging lower than the other and it's even. Okay, and there you go. Simple, easy. And if you wanted, you could always take this through the back and put it out the back side. It doesn't matter where you put your knots at. That could come through the front, that could come through the back. But that's just the easiest way to figure out how to make sure that the front, that both sides are hanging evenly. Okay, so this would make a super cute gift for Christmas. If you wanted to give it as a gift, because I would probably say give them for like 4 different rounds that they can use, that they'd be seasonal, and you can let them hang them out. What would I sell this for? Well, that's a good question because I haven't thought of that yet. I probably would sell it a minimum of probably like 25 bucks. But if you're going to include different rounds, I would go ahead and up that from there. Okay, that they could change out. People could personalize this if they wanted, and you could offer it that way if they wanted to, you know, announce a baby, if they wanted to announce a wedding. You can do it for Mr. and Mrs., things like that. Okay. But very easy, super easy, super fast to do. Makes great gifts. Will I offer the rounds in a header in my shop? Probably not. Oh, sorry. I have you on my desk and it's shaking. Probably not. They'll just probably be separate. And the only reason I'll do that is that way you can go ahead and order as many rounds as you need. And you might not necessarily need as many headers. You might want 2 rounds and 1 header, or 1 header and 4 rounds. So I'll offer them separately. But yeah, I would not price that. And you know, people ask me a lot, how do I get my pricing? You know, I figure a lot of it out, such as cost of material, how long did it take my man hours to do it, the cost of the print. So, you know, you have to figure out how much your costing of your prints are. That's something that you should always know. How much does it cost you to make a print per size? So that's something that you should know. How much do you want to charge yourself? What is your cost that you're worth per hour? I see people doing items for $2 and $3, and I'm not even kidding you. And I'm thinking to myself, I wouldn't go, if that's the case, then I would, if I'm only paying myself $2 or $3 an hour, I'm going to close up shop and I'm just going to go work at Walmart as a greeter. And nothing against that, but I'm saying though, or I'm going to go over to McDonald's and I'm going to work at McDonald's. And I have nothing against that, but you're paying yourself less than entry-level jobs are. Why would you do that to yourself? You are so underestimating your time. And I know a lot of people say I do it for a hobby. I understand that, but you know, I don't understand that. So you need to, as a person who sells something, you need to figure out how much does it cost you to make your print. Okay, so that's one cost. How much do you want to pay yourself an hour? What is your time worth? That's another cost. How much did it cost for the material for you to purchase? And then take those, put them together, get your pricing. And then what I usually do is, I'll get my price where I know it is. Then I go and I'll do an Amazon search. I'll do an Etsy search. And I will just Google images. I'll go through Pinterest. And then I'll look, how does that average, what is the average person, what's an average cost of maybe this item? And maybe you don't know because it's something that you've came up with and nobody has it yet. So then you're going to need to really look at those other 3 factors that we did, the cost of the material for it, the cost of the print, and the cost of your time. Okay, but other than that, then I go ahead and then I'll search and say, oh, everybody's selling them for around such and such price. And then I'll base all of that on that. Okay, and that's pretty much how I do pricing. All right, but please don't underestimate your time. I don't care if it's a hobby or not. If it's a hobby, then why are you selling it? If it's a hobby, most of the time hobbies are, I'm going to give this to my friend, I'm going to give this to my family, I'm going to make this for me. But if you're selling, you're not a hobbyist no more. You're now a seller, okay? And please, please don't underestimate yourself. How much is the header? think they were $5. I'm going to go back and look, but I think they were $5 for the header. Yeah, this header, the size was a little over 12 by 5. Okay. So if that's anything you take away from today, please don't underestimate your time. Don't underestimate your worth. All right? Hobbyists don't sell their items. Just remember that. If you're selling your item, you are no longer a hobbyist, you're a seller. Okay, so once again, here we are. This is in the Google Drive. All right. Very easy. I just did it on a white background. If you want to put this on another background, a whole colored background, you can. But I made this so that I wanted to show everybody that if you did have a smaller printer, you could definitely, or a press, you could definitely do this. All right. Will the shipping be combined? Yeah, usually when Etsy does a pretty good job with, I just put in how much something weighs, and once you get, this is going to my Etsy shop. I'm not going to offer this here at PayPal. I have a lot going on with PayPal right now with subscriptions and things like that, so I'm trying to put everything over into my shop. It just makes it easier because then I get a running list. In PayPal, it works a little differently. I have to go through things. So sometimes things disappear. Like I've had that recently, which is weird. I had it over the couple years. I only had it happen maybe a handful of times or maybe even 10 times where it's strange, like it'll get archived and like it just goes away. So then I don't see it and I don't know. I just assume it's shipped because it's not on my ready to ship. It just somehow it gets archived by itself, which I don't know. I don't know if maybe that happened on the consumer's end. Maybe they was able to, I don't know. And I've had that happen quite a few times recently. So I just decided it's easier for me to put it over on Etsy. I can see my sales. It's easier for me to track. It's easier for me to go down through the list. I get a daily list on priority on how it's set. So this is where it'll go. And then what'll happen is then I'm able to just ship it out. It's so much easier through the Etsy. So I've been sticking things through there. But all I do is I put in the weight of each item and then they combine the shipping for me. And then I just find it easier to do there. That way I'm not having to double invoice. I get the buy-in, which I'm still gonna probably do some. But if I can put it over there, then I'm just gonna do that. Because then I'm not having to double invoice. You know, once I get them all packaged up, then have to reweigh them. It's a lot of work that way. All right, this is gonna go into the Google Drive today. All right, this header combo. I'll have it plain with just a wood background, and then I'll have the actual one with the welcome. All right, so that was it. Today's project made easy. Do I ship to Canada? I do. A lot of times you as the consumer don't really want to pay the shipping, which I can understand because it gets crazy to ship things to you all, and just going across the border gets crazy. So, but I can always price you for something if you need it. I will tell you this, I have a lot of people here in the group that do live in Canada, but they are also closer to the border. So what they do is if that is an option, they come across the border once a month. They set up a U.S. mailbox and they come across the border once a month. They grab their items and then they go back because it saves tons of money on shipping. So if that's an option for you, I know quite a few people who do that. All right, they just have a P.O. box set up here in the States. All right. All right, I think I answered as I was going along. I'm trying to keep up as I go along, but that doesn't mean I don't miss it, because sometimes I only get 4 or 5 comments and it goes away. All right. Okay. Simple, easy. I am going to get back to shipping. I have crazy time of the year, trying to get everything out because the post office, I've had about 3 or 4 people now who their packages are kind of just either standing still or traveling. They're just making their way. They're going from here to there, which doesn't make sense, but they are. And then some that haven't, it looks like they haven't even done anything but stand still. Happy Post Office Day, right? So, with no COVID, no crossing the borders. Ugh, I feel bad. Okay. I forgot all about that. All right. So, Nancy, yep, still in PA. Yeah. Unfortunately, once a package leaves my hands and it gets checked in with the post office, it's beyond my control. It's literally, it's out of my hands now. So it's not even my, you can't even make a claim with me because it doesn't work like that. You'd have to make a claim with the post office because now it becomes their responsibility. So that's how it works. Took 2 weeks to get a package. Oh my goodness. If you use Pirate Ship, use your scan forms. Yeah, I don't. I have a business account with the post office and UPS, so I don't use Pirate Ship. But everything still scans. I still get a tracking and all of that. And my post office is pretty good. When I go there, I do drop off every day. I drop off bags of mail there. And they usually, the 2 ladies that work there, I love them. Matter of fact, I'm making their Christmas gifts today. They scan my packages in by hand, so they automatically get accepted. Usually, like right then, unless sometimes I get there and I feel bad because I'll be like, oh, I'm so sorry, I didn't get here. They close at 5, and I don't get there until 4:45, and I just tell them, you know what, just leave the bags sit here. Please do not feel like you got to rush. You can get them in the morning because I do daily. I have to, from my house to here back to home, I pass my post office. So it's literally just, I'm only 3 miles from my house and the post office is in between. So I usually do daily drop-offs with them. And they're pretty good with that. Would I ship that in a pizza box? Absolutely. It's funny that you say that because I have pizza boxes here that I ship in all the time. Yeah, and pizza boxes, if anybody, that is a great way to ship these. You can buy them right on Amazon. You can buy pizza boxes, 12 inches, 16 inches, things like that. And they're great to package these items in. And my daughter, she owns a business, and she just not the one who does the mock-ups. My other daughter, my oldest daughter, she owns a business, and they just bought a bubble wrapping machine. That's what I've been using. Love it. I get big, huge rolls of bubble wrap from her. Okay. All right, everybody. I think that's it. All right, I'm going to get back to working. I got a lot of shipping to do. So everybody stay warm. Stay safe. Lost or stand still. I know, it's horrible. It's horrible. I almost like pray over the packages before they leave, and I kid you not, I'm like, please let them make it to where they're going, please. And it's horrible. So that's the thing, if anybody plans on ordering, do not wait. I will get these shipped out as quick as possible. Like I said, my laser cutter runs all day long from the time I get here. But please don't say, I'll just wait until, Friday or whatever like that. Please, you just need to order it now, okay? That way we can, because mail's already running late. All right, everybody, I am going to go. You have a blessed day, and I love you all.